Hey, people, Shinobi no Kami here. This is the one-shot promised at 200 subscribers. In it, Naruto is the reincarnation of the Sage of Six Paths and he leaves the Hidden Leaf village and is trained by Kurama. I hope that you guys like it and support the author linked in the description. The next one-shot will come at 300 subscribers. I thank you all for 200 subscribers and hope that you enjoy this one-shot. So let us begin the video. Chapter 1. The defeated Naruto shakes in fear. He was used to beatings. They happened every day. But never this bad. This time, they had pulled a kunai on him. Naruto leaked tears from his eyes as he shook, silently begging for the villagers to miss the blanket with a lump under it in the alleyway. "Where is the demon?" yelled the older male. "I don't know." Another responded. "Hey, look in that alleyway." Naruto shook his head. Who was he kidding? They had ninja with them. There he is. They had spotted him. Naruto cries and begs as he is pulled out from under his hiding spot. "You really think you could hide from us? Well, think again, demon." Why they called him demon, Naruto had no idea, though he suspects it had to do with his birthday because that's when they beat him the most. Naruto shivers in anticipation, trying to mentally prep SHNK. The sound of a kunai embedding itself in flesh echoes through the alley. They had stabbed him. "Do you even know what today is, you fucking demon?" "My birthday." Naruto guesses weakly. Wrong. They stab. And stab. And stab until he is a bloody unrecognizable mess. The blonde child had passed out at this point, nearing death when his eyes opened, except they weren't his eyes had become purple with spiral designs. Naruto had awakened the Rinnegan. A villager who knew of the Rinnegan saw it and backed away. Hey guys. What? A few said. I think that's the Rinne. He was cut off as he was stabbed in the gut by a black pole. Falling to the ground. Dead. Some villagers shrieked and ran, though they didn't get far. In a flash all the villagers were dispatched, and Naruto stood over their bodies before he collapsed due to chakra exhaustion. When Naruto awoke he realized he was in a hospital. What he thought before he remembered what had happened the night before. Oh God, Naruto thought to himself, I killed them all, what have I done? He asks to himself. And what was that strange power? Two shinobi, a doctor, and the Hokage walk into Naruto's room in the hospital. Naruto pretends to be asleep. "Hokage-sama," one of the shinobi starts, "can we really let him roam free after this? I mean, he killed 13 people." The old man closes his eyes. What the boy did was in protection of himself. He was being tortured. Hiruzen spoke quietly to the surrounding shinobi as to not wake the sleeping child. "And speak quietly, I do not want him to know we said anything about this, let him believe no one found out." The Hokage says a little louder than before. "As you wish, Hokage-sama," the two said before shunning away. The Hokage and the doctor left the room. Now, Naruto may be in the clear, but he doesn't know that, for all Naruto heard was that he wouldn't be allowed to roam free and that was a secret. I need to get out of here before I'm sent to jail for the rest of my life." Naruto thinks frantically. Little did the boy know, someone other than the Hokage had been watching that night, someone known as the Darkness of Leaf, and he was very interested. So you can imagine his outrage when he was informed of Naruto's absence. "I can't believe it." Danzo sputtered. The Leaf let the Kyuubi Jinchuriki and the possessor of the Rinnegan leave their village in one fell swoop. He was beyond mad. "Well, if the brat won't stay in the Leaf, we will not let him stay anywhere else. Anbu, kill the boy and bring me his eyes." Meanwhile Naruto was training in the forest when he collapsed. "Oh. Crap. I haven't eaten in 3 days. Naruto thought. He wandered for a bit before finding a man who was walking on a trail in the woods who gave him some fruits and wished him good travels. Naruto sat under a tree and thought about the events that had happened 3 days ago. What was that power? He thought. I just remember the world turning purple and my senses increasing and then passing out. Naruto scratched his head. I can tell you what happened. A deep voice said. Naruto shot up. Who's there? Calm down, Naruto. I am Kurama. I am inside you. I can tell you everything. said the one named Kurama before pulling Naruto into his own mindscape. Chapter 2. The Lost. Ah. Naruto screamed. He was standing in what seemed to be a large sewage system at first glance. Someone hell. Naruto stopped talking as he saw the massive fox in front of him. His jaw dropped, gaping at the creature. Naruto, I said I would tell you everything and I will. Naruto nodded slowly. Oh, okay, he spoke quietly and weakly as a result of his shaking. Don't be afraid, Naruto. You are in your mindscape. That is where I, Kurama, live. I am one of 9-tailed beasts who were sealed inside humans to make them Jinchuriki. Wait. If this is my mindscape, does that mean I'm a Jinchuriki? Naruto questioned. Yes, Naruto, you are. Haven't you ever wondered why the villagers hate you so much? It's because I was summoned and controlled to destroy this village 6 years ago by a masked man. He forced me to destroy the village and kill many, including your parents, the same day you were born. I was then sealed inside of you. The villagers hate me because of you. Naruto yelled, now aggravated, you're the reason for my suffering. You killed my parents. No, Naruto, you misunderstand, it was against my will. I have no problem with your village and wouldn't attack it willingly. I hate humans, but I don't care enough to do anything. Pitiful beings. If you hate humans so much, why are you helping me? I thought it would be obvious, though, you were only 6. Don't you know what you used to kill those villagers? It was the Rinnegan, a powerful Kekemora Dujutsu used most famously by the Sage of 6 Paths, or in other words, you. What are you talking about? How am I the Sage of 6 Paths? Well, technically you aren't him, but his reincarnation, it is the only logical assumption to be made with your circumstances. At first, I hated you, you were my imprisoner, but now that I realize you are the reincarnation of my father and no longer hold any negative feelings towards you. This is all just so much to process, the little boy said, trying to wrap his head around the whole thing. He didn't know how he felt about the fox had killed his parents. Naruto, I want to train you in the ways of the Rinnegan and in any other of my father's techniques that you inherited, Kurama offered. Naruto still was unsure about the fox but was not about to pass up free training that could possibly make him hundreds of times stronger. Okay, he said excitedly. 9 months later. While Naruto had been training his Rinnegan, he had learned all 5 nature releases along with discovering 6 new powers that he had access to due to him being the reincarnation of the Sage of 6 Paths, them being the Truthseeker Orbs, the Drilling Hand of Sage Lightning, the Mystical Palm, the Chakra Transfer Technique, the 6 Paths Senjutsu, and the Sensing Technique. Kurama had taught him most of it, since he had seen the Sa6P in action before, and knew of his jutsu. He had not learned any paths yet, but Kurama assured him that he would know at least half of them in the next 5 years and that he would teach him 6 paths Sage Mode next. Naruto had been in the forest for around 2 months since he last left a small village he found close to the Land of Fire's border and was running low on food. The child left a small hut made out of bamboo and leaves he had built so he could restock on supplies. Naruto wandered for a bit before he found a little settlement with a couple of houses and a farm. He walked up to the farmhouse and knocked on the door. An old man holding a bottle of sake answered. Oh brother, Naruto thought. What do ya want, kid? The man said drunkenly. Naruto put on a sad face. Can I get some food please, sir? I've been wandering for days and I'm starving, Naruto pleaded. Ya got money to pay for the food, kid? No, please sir, I have no money and I'm starving, Naruto begged. No money. The man yelled, quit wastin' my time you brat. A woman walked up to the door. What's the matter, Katsuro? Who is this child? The lady asks. This brat says he's starving, and was asking for free food. The man known now as Katsuro exclaims. Oh honey, I'm sure we can spare some food for the boy, he seems lost. Whatever. You deal with the brat. Just go back to drinking your sake, the lady says. Katsuro leaves grudgingly. The woman walks over to Naruto and bends over. Hey kiddo, don't worry about my husband, we'll give you something to eat. I'm Hina, what's your name? She says nicely to Naruto. The boy looks up, happy. He had been staring at the floor. My name's Narumo, thanks a lot, he says. Okay Narumo, I'll see what I can get you. Do you have a place to stay? Hina asks. No. I don't. Naruto responds, truthfully this time. Okay, well we have an extra room if you want to stay over. Hina says. Okay, that's awesome, thanks Hina. Later that night. I can't believe our luck. Katsuro says with a grin. The kid the leaf is looking for ends up delivered to us right on our doorstep. I know honey, the leaf is offering 100,000 ryo, about $10,000 for this kid. Hina says excitedly. Naruto sits atop the stairs, watching. Too bad, he thinks, they seemed nice. What are you going to do, Naruto? I think you know Kurama, the blonde-haired boy replies. Drilling hand of sage lightning. Naruto yells and his hand lights up with a powerful lightning. He then proceeds to kill the man and woman in an instant. I guess I will live here for a while after all. Naruto says. Chapter 3. The Return 6 years. It had been 6 years since Naruto left the village. And he is finally coming back. Kurama, remind of my powers again please. Naruto asked. God, are you forgetful? I told you just a few seconds ago. Well, I forgot. Okay, well, there are all the paths, you can utilize them to their full potential with shadow clones. You also have 6 paths sage mode now. It was harder to get than I thought. Didn't realize that since you were his reincarnation you could just give it to yourself whenever with your senjutsu, that was annoying. You also got my full chakra mode now, and you are learning the creation of all things technique, though it's an insanely hard jutsu to master, so I don't expect you to get it anytime soon. Okay, that's fine, I got it. Naruto says. You still have a while to go before reaching the Leaf Village. Why don't you use KCM2 and get there much faster? Nah, I better stick with the Sand Village kids, they would get mad if I suddenly ran off, Naruto responded. Hey kid, why are you talking to yourself? A girl asked. I'm not, Tamari, Naruto said, annoyed, I am speaking with Kurama right now. Oh yeah, I forgot, she said as she shrunk away, obviously scared of tailed beasts. Mother doesn't like you, said a boy with red hair. Whatever Gaara. Like you could do anything about it, Naruto laughed. Yeah, suck it Shukaku, my Jinchuriki is stronger and you know it. Are you speaking with Shukaku? Naruto questioned. Yeah I am, we tailed beasts have a sort of telepathic connection as you humans would call it. Okay, cool, did you tell him that I am the reincarnation of his dad yet? No, I want to save that for when he makes a fool of himself trying to attack you. Okay, whatever you say, boss. 2 days later. Naruto has a hard time keeping down his rage as he walks into the village and leaks out some insane killing intent, making some villagers fall over in fear. Just gotta go find Gaara, Tamari, and Kankuro. He says to himself, closing his eyes and taking a deep breath. He realizes that his Rinnegan is activated and deactivates it instantly. He walks over to his comrades when he sees them bullying a child. What are you doing? Says Naruto. This brat bumped into me so I thought he should get punished, Kankuro replied. That's kind of pathetic, don't you agree? I mean, you're wailing on someone half your size. Says Naruto. Amenetejikara, he says, and suddenly he has swapped places with the kid. What the heck? Kankuro says angrily. My Kankuro, why did you suddenly grab me like this? Surely you aren't trying to attack me. Naruto says with mock surprise, proceeding to send a chakra-controlled slap into Kankuro that is so hard he slams into the fence next to them, knocking him out. Hey kid, you okay? This guy is kind of an asshole. Naruto asks, even though he just wanted to slap Kankuro, he had been talking about how his new puppet was unstoppable for the whole trip to the leaf. Yeah, the kid said and ran away. Well, you didn't have to thank me so much. Naruto says absent-mindedly, not caring about what the kid was saying. The hell was that about? Says Tamari, why is my brother in a fence? Oh, I dunno, he was annoying, Naruto responds, not wanting to be around the Sangenin. He suddenly jumps up onto a nearby building and runs off. Meanwhile, are you sure it was Naruto? Says Danzo. Yes, sir. His chakra signal matched exactly to the one Naruto gave off. There is no doubt. Replied the Foundation member, interesting. Danzo says, thinking of why the boy came back, he must be trying to plot something, follow his every move. That is an order. Back to Naruto, he sat atop the fourth Hokage's great stone face. He spits on the face, the saliva dripping down onto the left eye. You suck, dad. Flashback. 7-year-old Naruto walked up to the seal in his mindscape. So I just pull it off? Asked Naruto. Yes, Naruto, you will become much stronger. He was halfway done with pulling it off when a figure appeared. The fourth Hokage. Naruto said in disbelief. What is going on? He said to himself. Naruto, do not release the Kyuubi, said Minato, he will take over your body. Minato put his hand on Naruto's, stopping him from taking it off. No, he won't, Naruto said and ripped the seal off. There was a great release of smoke, and when it cleared, Naruto was sitting atop the nine tails, the Kyuubi baring its teeth at Minato. What the? Minato was shocked. You made friends with the nine tails, said Minato, confused. No, I didn't, his father did. I am not sure why you are here, the fourth Hokage, but I will tell you this. I am the reincarnation of the Sage of Six Paths, said Naruto, mostly putting on a front. He had heard many things about the fourth and wasn't sure he could beat him. Naruto, that's, wow. Minato was speechless. What is it? Naruto's voice wavered, he was losing his confidence. What do you want? He said with a slight hint of fear. This was the person that had led the village that beat him down, he was getting flashbacks to his beatings. Naruto, calm down, you are losing yourself to your fear of the leaf. Okay, I'm sorry Kurama, Naruto said, calming down a bit. Naruto, Minato started, I am your father. Naruto was shocked. You're what? He yelled. Naruto, I am your dad, I am surprised that you are the Sage of Six Paths, and that you befriended the fox, but what is this about, your fear of the leaf? Why are you afraid of your village? Minato asked. Naruto has fallen to his knees shaking, you're my what? He kept repeating, allow me to explain. Minato, after you sealed me inside your son, the village blamed Naruto for destroying the village and beat him regularly. On his 6th birthday, they had prepared a special beating for him, and while it was happening he awakened his Rinnegan. He then killed the villagers, left the leaf, and has been training to become stronger ever since. I'm so sorry Naruto. Minato was looking down. I never thought the villagers could be so cruel. Naruto stood up. I hate you dad. It's your fault I was beaten by the villagers. Naruto yelled with tears in his eyes. Please Naruto, I am so sorry. Please forgive me, I didn't know. Minato said. Naruto, I am only speaking to you right now so he cannot hear me. Minato sealed my yin half inside of him. If you pretend to forgive him, he might be persuaded into giving you my yin half, which will make you much stronger. Okay, thanks Naruto. Dad, I forgive you. It's not your fault. Naruto says, jumping off Kurama to go hug his dad. Really son. Thank you, it's more than I deserve. I can go back to your mother in peace now. Minato said, hugging his son back. Wait, Dad, can I have the full Kurama? It will be fine since I'm the reincarnation of his dad, asked Naruto. Okay Naruto, I trust you to use it wisely. He puts a hand on Naruto's shoulder and transfers the yin half. Goodbye Naruto, Minato says as he fades away. Naruto smirks and turns to Kurama. I think I need a small explanation, he says to the fox, wanting to know about the whole sealing thing and why his father was there. Flashback end. Chapter 4. The exams. Naruto checked his watch. 1:06. Better get going, Naruto said and jumped out of the window of the hotel he was staying at and ran towards where the first Chunin exams takes place. As he ran he sensed a figure following him as he left his hotel. He had noticed the Anbu following him the day before but did not act on it. As he reached the building Naruto jumped onto the street and started walking. Naruto had decided upon the alias Najiro, and his outfit was designed with a hood and he had dyed his hair so no one would recognize him, as he had been in the academy for a bit before he left the village. He now looked a lot like Menma from Road to Ninja. As he approached the building he saw many of his old classmates. He walked by with indifference and went up next to the Sand Genin and leaned against the wall next to them. And closed his eyes. Sayuri. I profess my undying love for you, said a kid in a green jumpsuit. Naruto opened one eye. Is someone being annoying? He wondered. The girl at the receiving end of the proposal ignored the boisterous black-haired boy. Why must you be like this? No matter, the power of youth always prevails, the kid said, punching the air. Okay, he is getting annoying, Naruto concluded and got up from leaning against the wall and said, Shinra Tensai, as his eyes flashed purple. The bushy-browed boy was blown back down the hallway and into the wall at the end. Would you shut up? You are being a disturbance, Naruto said as he closed his eyes and leaned back against the wall. Everyone in the waiting area stared at Naruto, especially Sayuri. Quick not. Yes, Sayuri is Sasuke. I have it as a tag for this story. Also, the spot Naruto had is going to be replaced by an OC that doesn't have much importance to the story. I'm going to name him Hayaso. Back to the story. The doors had opened and the first Chunin exam had started. Naruto looked down at the test. Crap, I don't know any of this. He said to himself. Don't worry, I know the answers to all of these. Okay, thanks Kurama, he said in his head. A few minutes later he left as the first person to finish. Later, Naruto made it to the Forest of Death and was waiting for the instructions along with the rest of the genin. The Jonin Anko told them the rules and all the teams got ready. Naruto sat by himself still. Sayuri walked up to him. Thanks for getting rid of Lee the other day. I hate it when the guys are like that, she said. Naruto said. I didn't really do it to help you though, he was annoying. Naruto admitted, trying to stop the conversation. Where is your team? Sayuri asked. I don't have one, I'm solo, Naruto said and walked towards the gate. Anko yelled. Begin, and all the teams rushed in through their gates and entered the Forest of Death. Naruto used his sensing technique and found the nearest team with a scroll. Limbo. Border jail, he says and releases 3 Limbo clones that run towards the opposing team and take them out. He walks over to where the knocked out team is and picks up their scroll and runs to the building in the middle. On his way to the building, he senses a large chakra, and runs towards it, curious about what's going on. He sees a giant snake attacking a boy and a girl. He recognizes the girl as Sayuri and assumes the boy is her teammate. He sees a man on the snake and he immediately knows who it is. Orochimaru. Why is a Rouge Sanin at the Chunin exams? He asks himself. Once he is close enough to hear what is going on, he hears Orochimaru say, "You will be mine Uchiha," and his head shoots at Sayuri. Amenetejikara, he says and suddenly he is where Sayuri was and he slices Orochimaru's neck with a black receiver and stops the attack. What the heck? Orochimaru yells, regrowing his body back with some weird jutsu. Where is the Uchiha? He says and spots her on a nearby tree with her mouth wide open, clearly in disbelief at what is happening. I am the reincarnation of the Sage of Six Paths. Najuro. Naruto yells and powers up to KCM2 Six Path Sage mode. Wah! What the heck? Orochimaru yells and jumps up to attack Naruto. Naruto sends his truth-seeking orbs at Orochimaru and slices him up. Orochimaru disappears in a cloud of smoke along with the giant snake. A clone. Naruto says bitterly and powers down while walking toward Sayuri and Hayaso who are both on the ground. Hey. You okay? Naruto asks. Yeah. Says Sayuri and Hayaso in unison, nodding their heads. Naruto senses a team coming towards them and sends his Limbo clones after them while he leaves Team 7 and keeps on going towards the end building. Later once all the succeeding teams have finished, they all gather at the exit of the Forest of Death and Anko says to them that all the genin have a month to train before the next exam. You ready to train the outer path? Said Naruto in his head to Kurama. Alright. 1 week later. Naruto was walking up a small mountain to go train in an area that is very secluded so he could train his outer path when he heard sounds of training at the top of the mountain. When he reached the top, he saw Sayuri training with a man that had white hair. He said to himself. Naruto watched as Sayuri's eyes flashed red and a cluster of lightning lit up in her hand. Chidori, she yelled and she slammed it into a wall making a small explosion. How was that Kakashi-sensei? Sayuri asked the man Naruto assumes is Kakashi. It was better than the last time, though it is still uneven. Kakashi says to an annoyed Sayuri who kicks a rock in the direction of Naruto, not knowing he is there. Naruto catches the rock and says, "You are putting too much chakra." Kakashi nods. Yeah, exact. Wait, who are you? The Jonin asks. I'm a friend of Sayuri, I guess, Naruto says after thinking for a second. Is this true, Sayuri? Kakashi asks the girl. Sayuri nods. Yeah, he's the one who stopped Orochimaru when he attacked me and Hayaso. She says walking towards Naruto. I didn't get to thank you, she said to Naruto. I can't believe you stopped a Sannin. It was no big deal, Naruto responded. Well, why are you here? Kakashi asked Naruto. I was hoping to train here but I guess I'll have to find another spot, Naruto said while turning around. Wait, you can train with me and Kakashi, said Sayuri. Really? Naruto was a little surprised, he didn't know a leaf ninja could be even slightly nice. Yeah, I guess if Sayuri says it is okay, says Kakashi. And Naruto walked over to train with them. 3 weeks later Naruto and Sayuri walk to the arena of the third exam together talking about how well they think they are going to do. Interesting. Kakashi thinks as he watches them from atop a building, Sayuri is usually more emo. Must be because of that kid, Najiro, and he dismisses the thought. When they reach the arena they part ways to go to their waiting areas. Everything goes pretty much the same except for the Neji vs Naruto fight, because it's basically just Naruto slaughtering Neji because Neji is a lot weaker than Naruto. Sayuri Uchiha vs Gaara of the Sand. The Hayate yells out and Sayuri and Gaara walk into the arena. The fight goes like normal so I will just skip to Gaara transforming and the Sound attacking. Naruto joins up with Temari and Kankuro as the Sound attack the Leaf. They go to the outer wall where a huge fight is happening. Naruto blitzes a bunch of Leaf Chunin and Jonin before sensing Sayuri's chakra being disturbed and he leaves the battlefield to go save her. When he arrives, he sees Gaara attacking her. Sayuri notices Naruto and calls to him before being knocked out by Gaara. Naruto seethes in anger and creates 5 shadow clones. 6 paths technique. Naruto yells him and his 5 clones blitz Gaara with taijutsu, his Asura path taking the lead in the fight. Then his Diva path yells, Bansho Tenon, and pulls Gaara into a black receiver. Gaara falls down, on the brink of death. Naruto releases his clones and goes to Sayuri to use the mystical palm technique. Once she is healed Naruto runs back to the battlefield to see Orochimaru fighting the third Hokage. He runs past them and starts attacking the Leaf with his paths. Orochimaru is calling for a retreat. Naruto hears a sound Jonin yell. Naruto joins up with the Sand Village as they retreat from the village. He pulls a shinobi to the side. What's going on? He asks the Sand Ninja. Apparently the Hokage is dead, and that a guy named Orochimaru killed the Kazekage and tricked a Sand Ninja into helping him and the Sound Village attack the Leaf. The Sand Chunin says while running. Wait, so the Sand isn't against the Leaf? Asked Naruto. No, we aren't, and we are gonna have a heck of a time trying to stop a war against us. The Chunin responds and runs ahead. Naruto stops. The Sand aren't against the Leaf anymore. Naruto thinks to himself, I am not with the Sand Village any longer. He says to himself and leaves the retreating Sand Ninja to go a different direction in the forest. Chapter 5. The found Naruto was back to living in the forest. He didn't know where to go. He needed a new group that wanted to destroy the village hidden in the leaves. He spent a while thinking about it, before realizing that the place he needed to go was the Sound Village. They had orchestrated the whole attack the Leaf operation, so they must want to destroy the Leaf. He started to get ready to go to the Sound, but he needed to go somewhere else first. Meanwhile at the Leaf Village, Sayuri was horrified. She couldn't believe it. Najiro was an enemy ninja. I need more details, she said to Kakashi angrily. Okay, well apparently the Sand Village was tricked by Orochimaru into attacking us, so he could be a Sand Ninja, right? I'm getting to that. The Sand said that Najiro came to them when they were preparing to attack us and asked if he could join them in the attack. He demonstrated a great feat of power and they weren't going to refuse him after the fact. Also, I shouldn't be saying this, but it was revealed Najiro has the same chakra signature as the Rouge Ninja Naruto, who left the village 6 years ago after killing a group of villagers. So Najiro is named Naruto? Sayuri asked in a small voice. She felt sick. This Rouge Ninja was probably just trying to get her Sharingan like Orochimaru, and she completely fell for it. Hey, they are still working out the details. Maybe they will find something. Kakashi says in hopes to cheer Sayuri up, but she is still looking down. I'm going to go home, she says and walks off. When she arrives back at her house in the Uchiha area, she is greeted by a surprise. It's Naruto. She tries to punch him but the punch is dodged easily. Sayuri, he says when he sees her face. What the hell Najiro, or wait, that's not even your real name, is it? She yells angrily. He sees her eyes, they are red with 3 tomos in them. He grabs her hands. Calm down. You want to talk? Naruto says to her. Why? Yeah. I do. Nasu Naruto. Sayuri collapses. After a few seconds, Sayuri gets up and slaps Naruto. I want an explanation, she demands. Okay. Naruto says, so yeah, sorry about lying to you about my name. Yeah, my real name is Naruto, I am a rogue ninja from the Leaf, the Jinchuriki of the Nine-Tailed Fox and the reincarnation of the Sage of Six Paths. Sayuri gives Naruto a, what? Look. Naruto tells her about Kurama and the Rinnegan and other stuff. So what about the Rouge Ninja part? Sayuri asks him. Well, the villagers always used to hate me because of the 9 tails and they would beat me a lot. On my birthday it was especially bad and I awakened my Rinnegan and in my rage, I killed the villagers that were attacking me. After that I knew I would have to leave the village or I would go to prison for the rest of my life, or someone would gouge my eyes out or something. Naruto said. I'm so sorry Naruto, she said. I had no idea, I thought you were after my Sharingan or something. Sayuri looks down. Hey, it's okay, Naruto says. You could have stayed. I mean it was self-defense right? Sayuri asks. No, I overheard some of the ninja talking about they would have to lock me up when they thought I couldn't hear them, Naruto responds. Sayuri hugs Naruto. I'm sorry. She says quietly. Naruto hugs her back and his face reddens a bit. Hey, Naruto. Do you think they made a document on your case or something? Sayuri says, maybe we could find it, it might have info on what the village was gonna do or something. She looks up at Naruto. Yeah, they probably do. Want to go steal it? He asks her. Yeah sure, they probably have less security in the Hokage's office now that Lord Third is dead, Sayuri replies and they get up to go find the report. Once they get close to the Hokage building the two jump onto a nearby building and jump from there into the Hokage's office. When they are inside they start looking through old documents and find one on the month that Naruto left the village. There are 7 scrolls in the folder that is labeled from 6 years ago, and one has some writing on the front that says Naruto. Inside is a report on what happened. There is a note from the third Hokage in it along with a Foundation report. The Foundation report reads, I was watching as the boy was beaten mercilessly. I was going to help him when I see his eyes glow purple and then a second later he is tearing through the attacking villagers with black poles. The two open the letter from the Hokage and it says, it was terrible what those villagers did to him, and he will not be punished, though I would like him to start training. Those eyes could be a valuable asset to the village as Danzo has said multiple times. Though I don't want to overwork him, I made a promise to Minato and Kushina when they died that I would take care of Naruto, and I will make sure this never happens again. Naruto. Sayuri asks and looks up at him. Naruto has tears running down his face. He hugs Sayuri and buries his face in her shoulder. Sayuri hugs him back. It's going to be okay, Sayuri says softly to him as he cries quietly. Once they are back at Sayuri's house Naruto lays down on her couch and closes his eyes. I guess I'm not going to go to the sound after all, he says to himself as he falls to sleep. The next morning Sayuri wakes up Naruto with some water in his face. Sayuri, he says. Good morning Naruto, she says and smiles at him. So, what are you gonna do now? Sayuri says. I am going to stay in the Leaf. I will show the people in charge of the village the letter from the Hokage and hopefully stay here, he says. But I thought you hated the villagers. Sayuri asked. Yeah, it's not like I'm about to become a hidden leaf shinobi or something. I don't know what to think anymore. I guess I only hate some villagers. I have a lot to wrap my head around right now, and all I know right now is that I just want to stay here with you, and then I'll find out what is going to happen later, he answers. Sayuri blushes a bit at what he said. Okay, that makes sense, well thanks I guess. She says. Chapter 6. Restoration. Before you start listening, here is some context. Jiraiya got Tsunade to be the 5th Hokage. Naruto walks into the Hokage's office. Everyone in the room gasps. Naruto. Tsunade asks. Lady 5th, I would like to live in the Leaf Village, Naruto says clearly. And Naruto, you do realize that you are a rogue ninja, right? We cannot just allow you to live here again. Tsunade responds after regaining her composure. I think this letter from the 3rd Hokage will change your mind, he says and tosses Tsunade the report from the previous Hokage into Tsunade's hands. Tsunade read the letter and her mouth drops open. You're Minato and Kushina's kid. Tsunade says in disbelief after reading the letter. Yes, Naruto responds. Well Naruto, I will have to check the letter for validity, and meanwhile you will be held in jail, Tsunade says. I understand, Naruto responds and nods. 2 Anbu Root members appear and grab Naruto. Also, if I discover that you did not check the letter, and just lock me up forever, I will break out and send 30 meteors on the village. You see, I don't trust you Leaf Village people. He adds. Okay. That's, fine. I can understand if this report is really what happened. Tsunade says. One day later, thanks for coming to check on me Sayuri, Naruto says behind bars, smiling. The Anbu member said that the test for validity has concluded and the results will be in later today. Sayuri lets out a breath. That's great Naruto, she says. They talk for a bit and soon Tsunade comes around the corner. Lady Tsunade. Sayuri says to the Hokage. Hello, Sayuri, there you are Naruto. Naruto, the test came back. Tsunade says addressing Naruto, I'm so sorry about everything okay, can you forgive me? Here let me get you out of the cell. She takes out a key and unlocks the door and Naruto walks out. So you have the Rinnegan? Tsunade questions. Yes, and Kurama Chakra mode and 6 Paths Sage mode. I am the reincarnation of the Sage of 6 Paths. Though I'm sorry to say that I will not become a ninja of the leaf. He answers. Wait what? Sage of 6 Paths. Tsunade is shocked. Naruto explains everything to her. Okay, I understand now. It is a shame you won't become a shinobi, you seem like you are very powerful, Tsunade concludes. Goodbye Naruto, she says and walks away. Later at Sayuri's house. Naruto. Sayuri asks. Yeah, what's up? Naruto says. Why did you want to stay with me? Sayuri asks. I don't know, maybe it's because you are the only person that has been nice to me ever, Naruto responds jokingly. Seriously? Sayuri asks. Yeah seriously, Naruto responds. An end. Chapter 7. The Savior 3 years later Naruto awoke very early in the morning to a raving fox. Naruto. The Akatsuki are attacking Shukaku. What Kurama? Naruto said sleepily. Naruto, wake the hell up. Go help Shukaku. I don't like him very much but I don't want those filthy Akatsuki to have him. Okay let me get dressed, Naruto said as he pulled pants and a shirt on. Now get going to the sand. Okay. One sec. Naruto said as he left a note for Sayuri. Naruto then powered up to KCM 26 Paths Sage mode and ran towards Shukak's distress signal at lightning speed. He arrived at Gaara's location in a couple of hours and he saw 2 Akatsuki members walking with Gaara. He created an Asura Path shadow clone and sent it toward the 2 Akatsuki members. The 2 jumped out of the way of the Asura Path as the clone launched small missiles at them. Deidara threw an exploding bomb at the clone, defeating it instantly. Naruto then rushed at Deidara, catching him off guard and punching him square in the face which sent him flying. Sasori sent 10 puppets after Naruto but to no avail as Naruto destroyed them as soon as they were summoned with his truth-seeking orbs. Deidara and Sasori then combined an attack of exploding puppets straight towards Naruto that made a huge explosion. As you can see, art is an explosion. Deidara yelled as he sent hundreds of small bombs that grew in size just before they exploded at Naruto right after. And Sasori sent thousands of poison-tipped needles at the same time. But when the smoke cleared, Naruto was unscathed. He had used his truth-seeking orbs as a shield around him. Drilling hands of sage lightning. Naruto yelled and blitzed Deidara and Sasori sending them flying. Sasori then came out in his true form, as his puppet had been destroyed. Deidara was on the ground, unconscious. 100 puppets technique. Sasori yelled and sent all his puppets at Naruto. Shinra Tensai. Naruto yelled and around half of the puppets were blown away. He then generated black receivers and proceeded to cut down Sasori's puppets all the while dodging the many poisons and knives that came after him, blocking most of them with his truth-seeking orbs. Then he was hit by a needle. About 15 puppets remained. Sasori grinned wildly. Looks like I finally got you. He said happily. I'm not out yet though, yelled Naruto and sent 6 paths out towards the puppets, defeating them all almost instantaneously. Naruto then yelled, drilling hand of sage lightning, and decimated Sasori. Hey, Kurama. Naruto asked while releasing his shadow clones, am I going to die because of this guy's stupid poison? No Naruto. I am sending my chakra through your body as we speak and clearing out the poison from your bloodstream. No need to worry. Good. Naruto thought. Deidara started to get up. Bansho Tenon. Naruto yells as Deidara flies into Naruto's receiver rod, killing him. Naruto walked over to where Gaara was laying and started to perform mystical palm technique on the red-haired Jinchuriki. After about 10 minutes Gaara was awake. And Naruto? Gaara asked. What happened? He sat up, weary-eyed. I just saved you, thank Kurama. I wouldn't have known you were here if it weren't for him and Shukaku, Naruto said. Thanks to you all the same, man. The two had made up a year ago when Gaara invited Naruto to his coronation as Kazekage. Let's get you back to the village K. I can't stand this desert. Naruto muttered. Good that, said Gaara, and they both got up. Here, let me perform the chakra transfer technique so you can get back to the village easily. Naruto gives Gaara some chakra and the two start to run towards the sand village at blazing speeds. When they reach the village, an entire search party is waiting for them. Everyone is surprised. Wait, how is Gaara back already? They are all thinking. Don't worry you all, I saved Gaara already, Naruto says, chuckling a little. They made a whole search party but I already found him, he said to himself. Yes. Naruto apparently beat the two Akatsuki members who kidnapped me and saved me. Gaara added. Everyone was a little shocked still. They all thought Gaara was probably dead at this point. The many sand ninja in the search party thanked Naruto for saving their Kazekage. Naruto and Gaara caught up for a bit and then Naruto left. Naruto got back to the leaf and went back to Sayuri, who was now awake. Naruto, I was so worried, you can't just leave like that. You should have woke me up, Sayuri said, clearly annoyed. I'm sorry Sayuri, he hugged her. See. I'm fine, I got to catch up with Gaara as well. Later in the day, Naruto was called into the Hokage's office. Naruto. I just got a letter from the Sand Village telling me what happened this morning. Tsunade said when Naruto walked into her office. Just wanted to say thank you, it definitely improved our relationship with the Sand Village. Also, I can't believe you took out two Akatsuki members. Tsunade said, are you sure you don't want to be a shinobi? You are insanely powerful. No, I don't. Naruto said, and thanks. He left the office. He still wasn't about to become a ninja. Sayuri had to leave for a mission, so Naruto was all alone in the Uchiha house. He decides he better get some fresh air and leaves for the central area of Konohagakure. He ends up walking next to a ramen shop called Ichiraku Ramen. He sits down at the bar they have and asks for their most popular ramen dish. Okay, one beef ramen coming right up, the lady working there says. In a few minutes, the ramen is sitting right in front of him. He takes the chopsticks and starts eating the ramen, quite exquisite, he thinks to himself. And he eats it all and pays. I might come back here sometime, he thinks to himself. Chapter 8. The pain. 3 months later the village was going crazy, there had been an attack from the Akatsuki. Sayuri had gone off to go fight the attacking Akatsuki and Naruto was looking for her. He was running through the leaf village when he saw a man in black and red robes grab onto two ninjas. He powered up to KCM2 SPSM, 6 Path Sage Mode, and decimated the Akatsuki member, the Diva Path with 1, Shinra Tensai, and ran on, looking for Sayuri. He saw another member fighting against Kakashi and he sent a Limbo clone after it, which managed to defeat the member, the Asura Path. Naruto saw another one and shot a fireball at it, and to his surprise, the member absorbed the fireball. This time he saw the Akatsuki's eyes. Purple with a black spiral pattern. The Rinnegan. Naruto was shocked but regained composure and used black receivers to kill the member with lightning speed. That was the Preta Path, he thought to himself. And ran on. He then saw a large crater with a fight going on in the center. He rushed to the fight and saw the animal and Diva Path fighting a group of leaf shinobi. It was clear the paths were winning. Naruto joined the fight and yelling, drilling hand of sage lightning, and killed the animal path. The Diva Path and Naruto looked at each other dead in the eyes, Rinnegan to Rinnegan. And rushed at each other. They exchanged blow for blow until Pain shot a chakra pull right inside Naruto's gut making him collapse. Naruto. Sayuri yelled and rushed at Pain with a Chidori and stabbed him with it. Pain yelled and said, Shinra Tensai. Sayuri blew backward 100 feet into a rock making a giant crack and a plume of dust arose. When the dust cleared Naruto saw Sayuri in a bloody mess, dead. Naruto poured out ki as he roared. Chibaku Tensai. He yelled. It was as if a tornado was in the air, Everything pulled towards one spot until there was a huge ball of rock in the sky with Pain inside of it. The rock blew up and Pain shot towards Naruto. Naruto dodged and slammed Pain with a giant black receiver, throwing him back into a rock. Naruto yelled, "Shinra Tensei," and Pain went completely through the rock and was instantly stabbed by Naruto with drilling hand of Sage Lightning. Pain was down but Naruto kept beating him with tears in his eyes. Pain got up and tried to Shinra Tensei Naruto away, but Naruto dodged and kicked Pain. He started to stab Pain repeatedly with his black receivers. Pain tried to get up but was held down by Naruto's truth-seeking orbs. Naruto then beat the shit out of Pain until he died. Naruto, go find the real one. Naruto nodded and using his sensing technique to find Nagato. Once he found him he sped towards Nagato and was there in a matter of minutes. Naruto walked up to Nagato. "You bastard. Give me Sayuri back," he yelled at him. "Your role is to be a sacrifice for the peace that I create," says Pain and he shoots a large chakra rod at Naruto. Naruto easily dodges. "You think that could hurt me, you fucking piece of shit." Naruto yells and rushes Nagato. Naruto stops after Konan jumps in the way. "You don't understand true pain," says Nagato. "I understand pain quite enough," Naruto says quietly. "My whole life I was beaten down. I never knew my parents, and my only friend was killed today. If that isn't, then what is true pain?" Naruto asks, tears forming. Nagato's eyes widen. "You have suffered so much, and yet you still follow the same path?" questioned Nagato. "Of course. My goal comes with pain. I will never waver. My resolve is absolute. I am the reincarnation of the Sage of Six Paths." Naruto says. "That is impressive. The pain I suffered broke me. I am no longer walking down the path I once was, and I realize that no," Nagato says and looks down. "I have suffered through war, and war inflicts death, injury, and pain." Nagato continues, looking at Naruto, "The death of someone dear is hard to accept. We convince ourselves that there is no way they could die. It is especially can't be helped with your generation. You don't know war. You may try to find meaning in death, but there is only pain. An unbearable hatred. Senseless deaths. Eternal hatred, and pain that does not heal. That's what war is. Naruto, this is what you will be facing in time. It seems my work ends here, Naruto." The paper tree that Nagato is hiding in falls away, letting the light shine on the three ninjas. "I believe, with your power, you can bring true peace," says Nagato. "I will now help you, Naruto. Rinne rebirth," he says. Konan seals Nagato's body along with Yahiko's. "Goodbye, Naruto," Konan says and Naruto runs off towards the village. When Naruto arrives back at the leaf everyone is waiting for him, the whole village is cheering for him and chanting his name. Then he sees her. Sayuri. Naruto runs over to Sayuri and hugs her. Naruto. She stops talking as Naruto kisses her and the villagers cheer. They are kind of unsure what is going on but they are all happy for Naruto. Sayuri kisses him back and they hug with tears running down Naruto's face. Naruto pulls away as all the villagers lift him up and toss him up and down. 2 days later Naruto and Sayuri lean on each other while sitting on their couch in Sayuri's house. "Sayuri?" asks Naruto. "Yeah," says Sayuri. "I love you. I love you too," Sayuri says. She smiles at him. "Loser," she says and turns away laughing. Chapter 9. The war. The next month the 5-Kage are planning a meetup to discuss the Akatsuki, the 5-Kage summit. That is the word going around throughout the world's shinobi forces. Naruto gets a request from Tsunade to come to her office. Naruto makes his way to the 5th Hokage. He finally reaches the door to Tsunade's office and opens it. "Ah, Naruto, there you are," says Tsunade. "I would like to request you to be my bodyguard for the 5-Kage summit that happens the day after tomorrow as you are the strongest ninja in the Leaf Village without a doubt." She asks, regally. "Thank you, Lady Hokage, and it would be my pleasure." Naruto says, "Strongest in the village he says to himself. "Great. I will see you tomorrow morning to travel to the location," Tsunade says. Dismissed. Naruto leaves the Hokage building. The next morning, Naruto wakes up to his alarm and tries to get out of bed without waking Sayuri. When he is successful, he leaves the house and makes his way towards the main village gate, where he is supposed to depart from the Leaf Village. When he arrives, he sees Tsunade and 2 Anbu members waiting for him. "Okay, let's go," says an Anbu member, and they all run off. The trip takes about a day before they reach the Land of Iron, where the summit takes place. Soon the group arrives at the specified location. Once they get inside, they see the 4 other cage waiting for the meeting to start. Naruto remains behind Tsunade while the cage talks, and out of nowhere, a man comes out of a black spiral. The man laughs, and yet, with all your talk, what have you 5 cage accomplished? You of all people should know the truth by now, the man says. The cage stare at the man shocked. There is no hope. Hope is equivalent to giving up, and it's the biggest deception of all. Now, turn over the remaining 8 and 9 tails and cooperate with my plan, or this is war, he says darkly. War you say? Says Gaara slowly. 8 tails. What do you mean? You captured B. The Raikage exclaims. The 8 tails capture failed, and he escaped. Now, there's a shinobi who is a perfect Jinchuriki. There is no one quite like your younger brother. Says the man ominously. I am not going to let you take Kurama, says Naruto. Same here, says Gaara. What about you Raikage? The Tsuchikage asks. I'll never give up my brother. Yells the Raikage. I may not have many strengths, but I do have the powers of the 7-tailed beasts I've collected. You have no chance of winning, the cloaked man says matter-of-factly. We won't abandon hope, says Gaara defiantly. Very well, I now declare war on you all. The 4th Great Ninja War begins now. Says the masked man. What? You're starting the 4th Great Ninja War. Are you mad? The Tsuchikage asks. Everyone stares at the man, awaiting an answer. The next time we meet will be in battle, the man declares and disappears in a swirl. Everyone doesn't know what to say. Gaara is the first to regain his composure. We should create an allied shinobi force, with all the world's shinobi fighting together against the remaining Akatsuki. Offers Gaara. The cage are now in agreement. And thus, the allied shinobi forces are created. The cage had wanted to hide Naruto and B, but Naruto quickly dismissed the idea, saying that he is more potent than all of them, and it would be a waste to leave him on the sidelines. The Raikage gets pissed that this team thinks he is more potent than Cage but is silenced by Tsunade, who says that it is probably true. Fine, I will allow Naruto to join the war, but B will be hidden. The Raikage says. No one has anything to say against it. 2 days later the shinobi of this world have been rallied, and so begins the 4th Great Ninja War. Everything goes the same as the original first part of the war, with Zetsu being taken out by Naruto and the Reanimations being released. At Naruto knew his sensing technique had to lock on to a target expressing chakra over long distances, so it wasn't very hard to find the culprit to the Edo Tensei. He arrived at a cave. He saw a figure sitting on the ground, seemingly performing some sort of jutsu. Orochimaru. Says Naruto. I assume you are Naruto. Says Orochimaru. Naruto powers up to KCM2 SPSM and starts to overpower Orochimaru. Naruto, if you kill me, the Reanimations won't go away ever. Orochimaru says. Naruto stops. I guess I'll have to force you to undo the jutsu then. Naruto says with a smirk. Limbo. Border jail. He says to Orochimaru. At Sayuri she was with the 4th Division when she heard Gaara yell. Halt. The division stopped running, and wondered why Gaara had told them all to stop until they saw them. The remaining Akatsuki members, Kisame, Itachi, Hidan, Juzo, Zetsu, and Kakuzu. Sayuri's Sharingan activated. Itachi. She thought. Gaara gave the signal to attack, and the 4th Division ran towards the enemy Nin. Itachi disappeared in a flock of crows. Sayuri knew where Itachi was, though, and ran to confront him. Sayuri, you are just in time, give me your eyes, he said and appears next to her. They clash blades for a second before Itachi sends a kick at Sayuri that hits her point blank and makes her flip backward. Itachi grabs the back of her shirt and spins her around before sending her flying. Chidori. Sayuri says and rushes Itachi, but suddenly Itachi teleports right in front of Sayuri, and in an instant, she stabs him and pushes him to the ground. You have become strong, Itachi says. I have one thing to ask, Itachi, says Sayuri. Itachi points his finger at her, and suddenly, she is enveloped in a genjutsu. Another farce with your special genjutsu, huh? Sayuri says. What do you want to know? Asks Itachi. I'll say it once more. Sayuri stabs Itachi. She is suddenly behind him. Itachi looks at Sayuri to see that she has disappeared into crows. Genjutsu, says Itachi. Answer me. The pain in your chest won't subdue until you do, Sayuri replies. Why did you kill our clan? Sayuri says in anger. Why? The curiosity about such a thing. Itachi asks calmly. Shut up, you know why. Sayuri says, now tell me. She drives the sword deeper. It is, because of the Leaf Village, Itachi says. Sayuri's eyes widen. What? She says. Stop joking around, she yells and sends a lightning stream straight at Itachi's head. She disperses the lightning, and the two throw shuriken at each other in a duel of clashing stars. They both stop and cross blades. Itachi jumps up and throws 3 kunai at Sayuri. She sidesteps and throws a giant shuriken at Itachi. Itachi blocks the large shuriken with a kunai, but Sayuri uses Chidori on the blade, and it slices straight through Itachi's arm. Itachi activates his Mangyeko Sharingan and speeds towards Sayuri and kicks her in the chest, which sends her flying into a boulder. Itachi pins her hands above her head and punches her in the gut. Forgive me, Sayuri, he says as he puts his hand on her eyelid, widening her eyes forcefully. Give me your light, Itachi says and pulls out Sayuri's eye. You do not possess the Mangyeko Sharingan. You can never win against my eyes, he says to her. I'll take the other one too, he says menacingly. Sayuri says, Chidori, and breaks free, making Itachi dodge and move away. Itachi takes out a small jar with a liquid solution in it and places Sayuri's eye in it. This is the difference in our strength, he says and appears behind Sayuri, and the difference between your ocular power and mine. He finishes, and his clone reaches for Sayuri's second eye. Sayuri escapes the genjutsu, she then falls down, exhausted. You broke through my Tsukuyomi. Itachi says in disbelief. Sayuri's eyes are still in her head. This time, I'll take them for real, he says. Itachi closes one eye, seemingly in preparation for Amaterasu. When Sayuri throws another giant shuriken at Itachi, Itachi dodges. By diving under the shuriken, when Sayuri pulls on a wire. A rigged shuriken. Itachi says. It flies back into Itachi's leg. Itachi pulls the shuriken out. Itachi starts wavering. Backlash from that earlier Tsukuyomi. Asks Sayuri. I like that, she says while performing hand signs. Fire style. Fireball jutsu. She says as a fireball shoots from her mouth. Itachi dodges and is met by a Chidori. Itachi dodges once more, and the two opponents shoot fireballs at each other. Amaterasu. The fire battle is taken over by Itachi for a split second before he collapses on one knee, very exhausted. The Amaterasu seems to have taken quite a toll on you, Sayuri says while also falling to the ground. The two had almost no chakra left. This next attack will probably kill me, says Sayuri. I can see you have no chakra left. You cannot perform a jutsu, says Itachi. Sayuri just gestures to the sky. There was a storm happening, and lightning strikes were frequenting. Itachi then realized. You are going to use the lightning as your chakra. Itachi says, his eyes widening. Sayuri only nods and says, Kirin, and a great lighting dragon forms in the sky and strikes down directly on Itachi. Finally, it's over, Sayuri thinks to herself before the dust clears, and giant orange humanoid creature is standing before her. At Naruto had to torture it out of Orochimaru, but the snake man was finally undoing the Edo Tensei. Okay, it's done, a bloody Orochimaru said weakly. Naruto checked if he was telling the truth with his sensing technique and sure enough, the jutsu had been undone. Naruto then pulled out a long black receiver and killed Orochimaru. At Sayuri the large figure had taken the entire attack. It shrunk down to a still large, but more manageable size as Itachi walked toward Sayuri. The Susanoo then hit Sayuri into a pile of rubble. As Sayuri got up she had fear grow inside of her. She was powerless. She was frozen in fear as Itachi reached for her eyes. Then he tapped her forehead with 2 fingers like he always used to do when they were kids and summoned her into a genjutsu. When Sayuri awoke from the genjutsu she saw her brother's dead body. And her eyes transformed. Then, she headed away from the battlefield. And back to the Leaf Village. Chapter 10. The last all of the shinobi's allied forces looked at Tobi and Zetsu. The other Akatsuki members had been defeated by the 3 divisions that came to help Gaara and the 4th division. Obito had unmasked himself, thinking that everything would go to plan. But it hadn't. They didn't get the 8 and 9 tails, and Madara had not been revived with the Edo Tensei. Curse that Orochimaru, Obito thought bitterly. Naruto had finally arrived on the battlefield. He then rushed Obito and Zetsu with a drilling hand of Sage Lightning. He passed through Obito, though Zetsu was injured. Looks like the allied shinobi forces win, huh, said Naruto with a smirk. Naruto puts his hands together, Ram, Snake, Bird, Tengai Shinsei. Naruto yells. Suddenly there is a large shadow over the three. The shinobi forces watch in awe, from a safe distance, as a humongous rock shows in the sky. Obito tries to use Kamui to get away, but Naruto grabs onto him and comes into his pocket dimension. Obito has barely a second to think before Naruto kicks him in the gut, sending him flying. The Uchiha is being overwhelmed. Obito tries to escape the dimension via Kamui, but Naruto leaves with him. You can't win, Naruto says and jumps at him. Obito flips back and grabs a kunai, but Naruto speeds towards him and tries to punch him in the same spot that he had got Obito in earlier, though to Naruto's surprise, the masked man smirks and Naruto phases right through him. Wah what? Naruto says, before calming down and noticed a sudden increase of chakra within Obito's eye when Naruto went through him. Aha, he thought to himself, it must be a part of that Kamui. Obito, with new confidence, tries to stab Naruto. Naruto easily dodges and creates 5 shadow clones. Obito's eye widens underneath his mask. You already figured out my jutsu. Obito exclaims. Yeah, and I'll defeat anything else you try to kill me with. Says Naruto, getting into a fighting position. With Sayuri. Sayuri couldn't believe it. All these years, and it had been Danzo that she should have been hating. Flashback. Itachi summoned her into his genjutsu. Hello, Sayuri, Itachi said with a sad smile. I am now going to give you my memories. I didn't tell you before because I wanted you to get the Mangekyo Sharingan. Sayuri was frozen. What the hell do you mean? Sayuri demanded. Itachi then snapped his fingers, and suddenly Sayuri knew what happened. About Danzo, the leaf, the nine-tailed fox, the Mangekyo Sharingan, and the Uchiha. What? Sayuri was shocked. I have left my eyes for you, implant them into your eyes, so you do not lose your vision as I did. I have to go now, Sayuri, and remember, I will always love you, Itachi said, and the genjutsu fell, leaving Sayuri with her brother's dead body. Flashback. End. Sayuri cried for a long time before taking Itachi's eyes and implanting them. I'm gonna kill that bastard, she said quietly, and Sayuri sped at top speed towards the Leaf Village, where Danzo was running things in the village leader's absence. It took a while, but Sayuri finally made it. When she arrived, 2 guards asked why she was back, and she knocked them out. Danzo was the only thing on her mind. She ran to the Hokage's office and walked into the building. Danzo was nowhere to be found. Where is that bastard? Sayuri yells in anger. Sayuri runs through the village and the nearby area and eventually finds Danzo walking across a bridge. I'm here to kill you. Sayuri yells. As if you could, Danzo says and takes out his right arm, showing the pale white skin with many Uchiha eyes. Sayuri seethes in rage. Danzo rushes Sayuri with his newly shown arm and punches her, only to find that an awakened Susanoo blocked him. Danzo's eye widens, and he looks up at Sayuri, who has her eternal Mangekyo Sharingan activated. Danzo jumps back, but not before being grabbed by Sayuri's Susanoo. So this is the power they call Susanoo, says Danzo. You're the reason for my clan's demise. Sayuri yells, I'll fucking kill you, and squeezes him tighter, making Danzo gasp for air and cough up blood. Damn you, Itachi. It seems you revealed everything to her before you died. Danzo says bitterly. How dare you speak his name? Sayuri yells, and her Susanoo changes from a hand to a half-body. Even so, revealing secrets of the Leaf to Rouge Shinobi makes him a traitor all the same. Danzo is stopped by his body being crushed by the Susanoo. Sayuri's eyes widen as she sees a lack of dead body in Susanoo's hand. Shall we fight instead with our eyes? Says Danzo from behind Sayuri and drives a kunai into her, before being stopped again by her Susanoo and his kunai breaking in half. As expected of a Susanoo, Danzo says and appears on a pillar. The Susanoo smashes its fist onto Danzo. Danzo dodges and lands back on the bridge and dodges an attack once more from the Susanoo. Sayuri jumps up at Danzo and says, Amaterasu. Danzo bursts into a black flame. Garg, Danzo yells as he falls to the ground. An eye closes on Danzo's arm. Izanagi. Just give up, Danzo says calmly to Sayuri. Sayuri responds by erupting her Susanoo, making Danzo jump back. Sayuri yells, and her Susanoo transforms from a skeletal form into a more humanoid armored figure. The Susanoo pulls back an arrow on its crossbow and aims it at Danzo. No choice, Danzo thinks to himself, and as Sayuri's Susanoo fires, Danzo rips part of his sleeve as he uses Mokuton to create a large tree that stops the arrow. Frustrated, Sayuri fires another arrow, and this time, the arrow hit its mark. Danzo reappeared next to where he was just impaled, and another one of the eyes on his arm closes, leaving one left. He had used Izanagi to take over the village while the war was happening. He was impaled once again by an arrow and reappeared next to it, unharmed, once again. Danzo breathed some particular chakra onto his kunai, making it a sword. Sayuri lit up her blade with lightning. The two rushed at each other and stabbed each other in the chest. Go where Itachi is, says Danzo. You intended to see through Izanagi, however, Danzo's eye widened. What's the meaning of this? Danzo says as he coughs up blood, why won't Izanagi activate? Danzo stumbles back. The one who will see Itachi is you, says Sayuri. Danzo collapses. Sayuri had cast a genjutsu on Danzo to make him believe he still had one eye left for Izanagi. Sayuri falls backward and sits down, tired from the battle. As Danzo gets up, his arm starts turning into a tree, forcing Danzo to cut it off. Not yet, Danzo says, and he pulls off the bandages on his head to reveal a Sharingan. Sayuri shoots a Chidori right through Danzo's chest. Danzo coughs up more blood and tries to run away. For the sake of this world and the village, Konoha. I cannot allow you to live. Danzo declares, ripping open his shirt and saying, Urishisho Fuenjutsu, and black marks appear on Danzo's chest. Sayuri jumps away. Hiruzen, Danzo thinks, looks like it's my turn now. But in the end, I didn't become Hokage. No matter where I went, I couldn't catch up to you. Danzo thinks as he explodes. At Naruto and the allied shinobi forces, Zetsu was lying on the ground, beaten. Obito was breathing heavily. His chakra was running out. It could not match up to Naruto's massive reserves. Naruto slammed a drilling hand of sage lightning into Obito, making him fly backward. This time, I'll finish you, yelled Naruto as he powered up a second drilling hand of sage lightning. This time, it was on both of his hands and massive. Obito's eye widened. This is it. He thought grimly. Naruto yelled and rushed Obito with his lightning, obliterating him. A cheer rolled over the thousands of shinobi watching. They had won the war. Later the Leaf Ninja marched back to their village, Naruto leading them. When they arrived, they were greeted by a massive party for the shinobi. Naruto looked around for Sayuri but couldn't find her. He then sensed her chakra and headed to her location. He soon arrived at a bridge with signs of a battle all over the area. He spotted Sayuri in the middle of the bridge, laying down. He rushed over, and he saw a dead Danzo, and Sayuri passed out from exhaustion. He healed Sayuri quickly and asked what happened. Naruto. Sayuri says weakly. Sayuri. Are you okay? What happened? Why is Danzo dead? Naruto asks worriedly. Naruto. I fought Itachi. He told me about how he was forced to kill my clan by Danzo after he had thwarted a better plan to stop the Uchiha's coup without killing any of the clan. Sayuri answers. And you believed him? Naruto asked. He was telling the truth. Danzo had stolen many Sharingan eyes and admitted to it. Sayuri says, and yeah, I'm okay. Naruto kisses Sayuri and picks her up. I'm taking you back to the village, says Naruto. I can walk on my own, Naruto, Sayuri responds. I know, is the blonde's only response as he walks towards the Leaf Village. When Naruto gets back, he and Sayuri explain what happened. Everyone is too happy about them winning the fourth great ninja war to care, though, and everyone keeps partying and sharing battle stories with their loved ones. Naruto takes Sayuri away from the party and brings her to the mountain in which they first trained together for a month. As the sun sets, Naruto gets down on one knee and pulls out a little box from his pocket and opens it to reveal a ring inside. Sayuri, will you marry me? Naruto asks and blushes. Yes, Naruto. Sayuri says, and they kiss. The end. Hey people, hope you enjoyed the video. I want to thank you guys for 200 subscribers. I was gonna make a speech about but I am not that good at it so I will just keep it short and sweet. I thank you from the bottom of my heart for your support, it really means it to me. I hope that you enjoy my content and stay with me on this long journey. I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.